Ever feel like just drowning in paperwork? Regulations.
Oh, tell me about it.
You're not alone, especially in payments and banking.
Right. Client onboarding, managing it all.
It can feel like you're navigating a minefield sometimes.
A minefield,
But
absolutely.
what if there's a bit of a secret weapon emerging?
Okay.
And it doesn't just streamline everything, but it makes compliance less of a burden.
Less of a burden, okay.
Maybe even an advantage.
Interesting, yeah.
That's what we're diving into today.
All right.
AI agents, how they're changing things, especially in payments and banking.
Yeah, these are highly regulated spaces, as you know.
And I've got a report here. It breaks down how this tech can automate the really complex things,
Oh, wow.
make real-time decisions,
Crucial in this business.
even predict what clients need.
Before they even know it themselves, right?
Okay, so AI agent, let's define it for a second. We hear it everywhere these days.
It's become a bit of a buzzword.
But what's it really mean in financial services? It's not just, some basic automation.
No, not at all. We're talking about sophisticated software programs powered by machine learning that can do things like analyze complex documents, financial documents, spot risks, even hold conversations.
Like a human would.
In a way, yes. But the key difference, the learning, they get smarter over time. They adapt, refine how they make decisions.
So it's not static. It's not just if this, then that. It's actually...
But evolving, that's the intelligence.
So instead of just flagging something as potentially fraudulent based on, some set rules.
Right, the old way.
It could analyze past data, look for those patterns that might indicate something's off.
Subtle patterns, things humans might miss.
Even if it doesn't fit what we traditionally think of as fraud.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so revolutionary for businesses. Particularly, payments, banking, where the rules are always changing.
And the stakes are so high.
Exactly. The consequences are huge.
We've all been there, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Staring at a mountain of forms, trying to, decipher handwriting.
Oh, the worst.
Cross-referencing across platforms, hoping you don't miss some tiny detail.
That'll come back to bite you.
That could land you in hot water.
Big time.
It's enough to make anyone's head spin.
It really is. Traditional onboarding, client management, it's just this maze of manual processes, endless verification. And then, the pressure of keeping up with those regulations, it never ends.
It's like trying to hit a moving target while blindfolded.
And any mistake, even a small one, it can be really, really bad.
But that's where AI agents come in, right?
Yeah, they're like,
They act like our eyes and ears, constantly scanning, helping us navigate this minefield, but more accurately, much more efficiently.
Exactly. And it's not just about mitigating the risk, it's unlocking a new level of speed and personalization that wasn't possible before.
So how does this actually play out in the real world, I mean?
Right.
Let's say we have a new client coming on board. What can an AI agent handle that, normally our teams would be bogged down with?
Yeah.
For days, if not weeks.
Okay, so let's take identity verification.
Right.
Think about the traditional KYC process.
Know your customer.
Exactly. And it is very document heavy.
Oh, yeah.
But an AI agent can analyze a passport, driver's license, company registration documents, maybe from various countries even.
All at once?
In a flash.
Wow.
And cross-reference all that data against all these global databases, inconsistencies, red flags, anything that might point to fraud.
And it does that more accurately than a person.
Oh, much more quickly and accurately than a human ever could, yeah.
See, that's huge, especially when you're dealing with clients globally, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the time it takes to verify identities internationally.
Oh, it's a pain.
Keeping up with all the different regulations in every country.
Yeah, it can be a nightmare.
It is a nightmare, but it's not just speed, is it?
Yeah.
It's the accuracy when it comes to spotting, potential fraud.
It's a game changer. The report actually highlighted a case study. This global bank, they reduced fraudulent account openings by 70%.
Yeah.
Just by implementing an AI-powered KYC system.
Wow.
It's because the AI was trained on so much data, millions of data points.
Yeah.
And it learned to identify these really subtle patterns, things that humans, we just miss.
70%, that's remarkable.
It is.
Makes you wonder what we were missing before.
Right.
But okay, let's say a client has been onboarded. They're in the system.
They're good to go.
Everything seems fine. Is that where the AI agent stops? Or is this ongoing?
That's the thing. It doesn't stop there. AI agents, they're so powerful for ongoing client management as well.
Okay.
They can constantly monitor transactions,
Sure.
suspicious activity, and not just based on how much money is being moved around, but the location, the recipient.
Okay.
But they analyze the client's typical transaction patterns, and they flag anything that's really different from their norm.
So let's say a client, they usually do small local transactions,
Yeah.
but suddenly they're making large international transfers. Red flag.
Exactly. The AI picks up on that
Wow.
and flags it, needs review. But it's not always just reacting to threats, right?
Ew.
AI can also help us manage risk proactively.
How so?
Let's say you have a client and their business is really tied to one specific region.
Okay. Yeah.
The AI agent can monitor news feeds, economic indicators,
Well.
social media sentiment.
No way.
Oh, yeah, from that region. And it can give you an alert to any potential problems, any instability that could impact your client.
So you're ahead of it.
Exactly.
That's amazing. It's like having like a whole team of analysts for every single client.
That's right. Constantly just, monitoring everything globally.
That's incredible.
And that's not even the best part.
There's more.
This data analysis, it can completely change how we think about client engagement.
Okay.
Imagine knowing what your client needs before they even do.
That's the dream.
AI agents, they can look at transaction history, communication patterns, market trends, all of it. Identify opportunities, upselling, cross-selling, finding those financial products and services that are actually relevant.
So instead of just like a generic, hey, we're having a sale email.
Right, generic blasts, nobody wants that.
That's like, hey, I noticed your transaction volume has gone way up this quarter.
Have you considered upgrading? Maybe unlock higher limits.
Lower fees.
Lower fees, exactly. It's about giving a truly personalized experience.
Is that anticipating what they need?
Being proactive. And the report actually suggests that this type of engagement, this AI-powered engagement, it can increase customer lifetime value by 20%.
20%.
That's right.
Wow, that's a game changer. 20%. Now, those are the kind of numbers that get a CFO's attention.
For sure.
But let's be real for a second here.
Okay.
Implementing all this AI, this sophistication,
Yeah.
it can't be as easy as just buying some software, right?
Right. It's definitely not plug and play.
No.
Not yet, at least.
What are some of the real challenges here?
I think for companies, when they start thinking about, okay, we're going to integrate these AI agents.
Into how we actually work.
Data integration is a big one.
Okay.
A lot of these financial institutions, especially the big ones,
Legacy system.
legacy systems, they weren't built for this.
Right.
This real-time, massive data analysis.
Right, it's a whole different ballgame.
You've got all these different databases, platforms, they have to talk to each other seamlessly. For an AI agent to really work its magic.
To do what it's supposed to do.
It often takes, a serious investment modernizing that infrastructure.
You're saying it's not just about the AI itself.
No.
It's about making sure everything around it can support it.
Rethinking maybe how data flows through the entire organization.
So it's almost like you're building a high-speed rail line,
Okay, yeah.
but you're used to horse-drawn carriages.
That's a good way to put it.
The potential is there,
Yeah.
but you got to get the whole system up to speed, and that takes
It's a different way of thinking.
resources.
A lot of resources.
Okay, so data integration, that's one. What else?
Data quality. You can have the best AI, top of the line,
State-of-the-art.
but if you're feeding it bad data,
It's useless.
it's garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Incomplete, inaccurate, inconsistent data, the output's going to be unreliable.
Okay, so how do you even begin to address that?
Robust data governance. You've got to make sure the data is accurate from the start.
From the source.
And then continuous quality checks all the way through.
So you need systems to check the systems.
Basically, yeah, keep everything running smoothly.
Okay, so data integration, data quality. Now the next one's a big one, I think, especially in finance.
Yeah, I think so too.
Security.
Of course.
We're dealing with people's money, their personal information.
Highly sensitive stuff.
How can we be sure? How can we be sure that these AI agents, they're handling all of this responsibly?
It's more than just your typical cybersecurity.
Right.
We're talking about baking security into the DNA of these systems.
Okay, so what does that look like practically?
So, strong encryption, that's a given.
Right, gotta have that.
Strict access controls, who has access to what?
Absolutely.
And we're talking about always monitoring any little thing. Unauthorized access, tampering, anything suspicious.
Okay.
But it even goes deeper than that.
How so?
You have to be careful about the data you use to train these AIs to begin with.
Ah, okay. So it's about what you're teaching it.
Because if you're not careful, you can actually introduce bias. You can compromise privacy without even realizing it.
Wow. It's a lot to think about.
It's not just about, building a smarter system,
It's about making sure it's ethical
building it the right way from the ground up.
and one that we understand,
Absolutely.
that we can control. And that brings us to, I think, another big concern with AI, especially in finance,
Transparency.
explainability.
Yeah.
Being able to look under the hood and actually see what's happening.
You've got to be able to understand how it's making decisions.
How is it weighing different factors?
What data is it using?
Right. And that's important for, well, obviously for regulation,
Compliance, for sure.
but also for clients, right? To trust the system.
To trust you. To trust that the decisions being made, they're fair, they're justifiable.
It's the difference between, having a decision made by some mysterious black box
Right.
versus sitting down with, an advisor
Someone you trust.
who can actually explain their reasoning.
Lay it all out.
And this need for explainable AI, it's driving a lot of the innovation we're seeing.
It really is. New tools, new techniques, all to help us understand these complex algorithms better, which is crucial. We need to make sure AI is being used ethically, responsibly.
So as we wrap up here, this deep dive into AI agents, I think it's clear that this technology, it's transformative,
Oh, yeah.
especially in the financial world. It can streamline those cumbersome processes,
Absolutely.
help us manage risk, make clients happier.
Unlock potential we didn't even know we had.
But it's not a magic bullet, right?
Right. There's no quick fix.
Integrating AI, it's a journey.
It's a process, yeah.
You need a plan, a strategy,
Absolutely.
and you have to be mindful of those ethical considerations.
Transparency, accountability.
Yeah.
We've got to use this technology responsibly.
The companies that succeed, the ones that will really thrive in this new world of AI, it's going to be the ones who get that
The ones who embrace it thoughtfully.
and use it as a force for good.